Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me to the White Hat team, all of you for joining us today. I'm here to talk about building a CRM-powered website to grow your business. But first, I want to just quickly introduce myself. So my name's Alex, as Tamara said. I am a product marketing manager here at HubSpot in charge of all things Hub. So if you've ever read any of our content on our CMS or interacted with any of the marketing, chances are I have my hand in some way. I've been at HubSpot for just under 5 years now. And before working on CMS Hub, I did a lot of work on our Marketing Hub product. So if you have the Marketing Hub or you know our marketing suite better than our CMS, maybe you're a bit familiar with that as well. And then, feel free to connect with me. I put my LinkedIn there. I'm willing to chat with anyone, answer any questions they might have today. But if after the session you realize, I have a question that at the time, feel free to connect with me afterwards. I would be happy to answer any questions retroactively. To answer Tamara's icebreaker question quickly before we get started, I think I'd prefer the pause button in life because you always want a chance to step back, take a breath, and then move forward when you're ready to go. So I would take a pause button over rewinding. Cool. So just a quick agenda. We're first going to start off by talking about, what is a CRM-powered website? What do I mean when I say that you can build a CRM-powered website with HubSpot? Then we're going to talk about, 4 reasons why maybe you should consider building or a digital experience of some kind on the CMS Hub. And then we'll finish off by talking about some ways that you can get started on CMS Hub, including that CMS Hub Starter product that Tamara talked about at the beginning of this presentation. But I want to start us off with just a quick poll. And like Tamara said, I cannot see the chat right now. So either where you're sitting or maybe in the chat itself, feel free to drop things in the chat. I'll review it when I finish the presentation. But I want you to raise your hand if you have a website. Either drop it in the chat or just, raise your hand wherever you are in the world right now. And this is kind of a rhetorical question because of course you have a website. It's 2021 and we're running businesses. We all have a website. It's kind of, table stakes to have a website in order to do business in the year 2021. Another question for you. Talk of what CMS you're using today. Maybe you're already using CMS Hub. Maybe you're on WordPress. Maybe you're using something like Squarespace or Wix or one of those higher end solutions like Sitecore or Adobe, maybe. Just take stock of what CMS you're using today. Feel free to drop it in the chat. I love seeing the different CMSs that HubSpot users are leveraging. Final one for you. I want you to think through and drop this in the chat, please. What is the goal of the website today? Why do you have a website? We know that in 2021, we all have to have websites in order to conduct business. But why do we have them? What is the goal? What is your business objective for having a website? When I ask most people this question, they come back to me and they say, we really have it as a place to attract visitors, to bring visitors from the web, from organic search or from ads onto our website, to attract those visitors in, and then to convert them into leads for our marketing team to then work and then pass them off to sales and so on and so forth. And that's absolutely correct. That's absolutely correct. You should continue thinking of your website as something that could do that. But I'd like to challenge all of us to think of our website beyond that. Start to think of it as something that can impact the entire customer experience across the entire customer journey. So it's not just a tool to attract visitors and convert leads. It can also be an education center or a tool that you use for new customer onboarding or something where you can create kind of an advocacy program. And this doesn't have to be just your own corporate website. It doesn't have to all be within that corporate website, that one big behemoth website that you've built. It could be that you've built out a microsite for new customer onboarding or that advocacy program. So think about your website and your digital presence as a whole in a more holistic manner beyond just a tool that you use to attract visitors and convert leads. That's tip number 1 for you today. And the reason why I give that tip is because we've really gone all in on digital. I think the past year that we've had, we've really realized that the digital experience that we provide our customers is the same as the customer experience from each other. They're kind of one-to-one at this point in time. And we as customers, as consumers of the internet, we expect that these digital experiences are going to be seamless. When we sign on to someone's website, the same experience that we would get if we were visiting them in their own storefront. The problem that we find is that all too often, these digital experiences that we have are anything but seamless. In fact, they're often quite frustrating and confusing, really confusing. Let me just walk you through a quick example of what I mean here, and maybe you've had this experience before. Let's say you go to a website and you are interested in learning more about one of their products or one of the services that that company offers. And so you see that there's a contact us form, great, you fill it out, you get a message saying thanks for filling via email. So awesome, you leave the website. Later that night, you go to your inbox, you're looking for the email, you see that you never got that email. You go back to the website, you say, I'm just gonna reach out via the chat. They have a chat widget in the bottom right-hand corner. I'm gonna go ahead and reach out via chat. So you start chatting in, and the rep on the other end has no idea who you are. They don't know what product or service that you're interested in. You have to explain to them that you've already gone through all the research that you've done and specify which products and services you're interested in. And so they're not able to help you out. And so finally you say, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to call in to the business. So you pick up the phone, you find the number on the website, you call in, the sales rep answers, and they say, okay, what are you interested in? And they have no idea who you are. So you have to explain every single interaction that you've already had with that business, the sales rep. And think about all the different technologies and tools that I just walked you through in order to deliver that digital experience. We have, a forms tool, a CMS of some kind to host the website, email marketing, live chat, a CRM, all these different tools that you're piecing together in order to deliver this digital experience. And ultimately, at the end of the day, it's broken. And it's broken because you're trying to cobble together all these different tools just to run your website. Now, obviously, there's a reason why people are doing this. Why would people want this cobbled together system? We did some research here at HubSpot that the market sees a lot of value in combining your CRM, your CMS, and your marketing automation platform in some fashion. Of the people that we surveyed, about 45% of companies are connecting their website to at least 8 external tools. 81% of those companies are connecting their websites to their CRM. And about 73% of their companies are connecting their websites to messaging tools or marketing automation of some kind. So there's a great deal of demand for these things. The problem that we see is that these companies that are doing so end up with inconsistent, unreliable data and difficulties connecting all these things and improving the business results of these different things. I love the quote over to the right that we have here. It says, the penalty of having incomplete or inaccurate data could be the company's existence. So the stakes are high here, but there's a great deal of demand to have this kind of all-on-one solution where you have all of these tools working together and working off each other in order to deliver that delightful customer experience. And so you have options. You have options galore. There are over 12,000 different vendors that you could use in order to start delivering that customer experience to your customers. We've kind of broken these down into buckets that you could be leveraging in order to deliver that customer experience. So you have content, your website, messaging or different marketing automation tools. You have the automation that runs this. You can start to scale your processes over time. Reporting, so is what I'm doing working? Are the things that I'm trying to accomplish for my customers, are they improving results? And of course, data, so you can start to root it in some meaningful actions and start to have that data foundation layer at the bottom of everything that you're doing. And you can use all these different tools to manage the customer experience. But if you're stitching together a bunch of different disparate tools in order to manage this experience, you're going to start to pay what we at HubSpot call the cobble tax. This is a situation where you have a bunch of siloed data across all these disparate tools. It makes it harder for your team to align around that unified view of the customer experience. You're going to have to make a decision on whether you want, a simple tool that your entire team can leverage, or a powerful one that's going to scale with you over time. So it's difficult to adopt because you're going to have a tool, maybe one that's really simple that doesn't allow your developers or your technical teams to really get in the weeds and start to build out really sophisticated experiences for you. Or you're going to have that powerful tool that your technical teams love, but your marketers are locked out of at the end of the day. And then because you're stitching together all these disparate tools, flexible tech stack that makes it really hard to adapt and scale your tech stack with your business as you grow, as you start to become a bigger and bigger company with even more nuanced digital experiences that you're trying to provide for your customers. So we at HubSpot think differently. We think that your digital content can really act as a guide for your customers, guiding them from one step of the customer journey to the next. And that's why we built CMS Hub. And so we built CMS Hub on top of this unified code base that takes all 5 of those core components of the customer experience, the content, messaging, automation, reporting, and data, and bakes it into this one all-on-one platform to build out this delightful customer experience. This is a platform that's really crafted for your growth. So you're going to get that single source of truth that makes it easy for your teams to align on what is the experience that we're providing our customers and how can we improve it over time. It's going to be one intuitive UX, no matter which tools you're leveraging, whether you're leveraging marketing automation platform or the CMS as a standalone product, or the CRM plus the CMS. You're going to get that one intuitive UX that makes it easy for all your customer-facing teams to adopt the CRM platform and the CMS. And then because of that one unified code base where everything is built on top of, you're going to be able to easily scale with HubSpot, easily adopt more tools as you grow. It makes it easy for your team to adapt to a growing business. CMS Hub is built on top of this overall HubSpot CRM platform. You're going to be able to build what we call a CRM-powered website. This means that you can use data to personalize and create sophisticated customer experiences. You start to leverage automation to help you scale your website over time. You can create better content by removing gatekeepers, allow developers to do what they do best while allowing marketers to really take of creating net new content or making those small little tweaks to your website. You can start to report and optimize on your content effortlessly. You start to see, what is working and how can we optimize our content so that we ensure that we're providing our customers experience possible. And then, of course, you're going to be able to keep your messaging consistent across all channels. So the message that your customers get on your website will be the same that they get in your email automation, will be the same that your sales reps are talking to your customers on a day-to-day basis. And so that's just a quick overview of, what is a CRM-powered website? What do I mean when I say CRM-powered website? I now want to quickly just dive into 4 specific reasons why you might consider building your website or your digital experience as a whole on CRM. And the first one is that CRM platform. Now, CRM platform, I think most people think of the CRM as a sales tool. It is a Rolodex that their sales team goes into. They find the contact that they're doing business with, and they start to send a one-to-one email to them, or they log call notes in that CRM. I want all of us today to start to expand what we consider the definition of a CRM platform to be, because really what a CRM does, it's the heart of scaling businesses. It's the tools that you use to manage that customer experience. And so we at HubSpot think that all of our hubs, not just the sales tools, are part of that CRM platform. And that includes our service hub, and it also includes our CMS hub. And so we find that the customers that get the most out of the CRM platform are leveraging at least 3 of our hubs. They are leveraging the CRM platform as a whole. They're leveraging our marketing automation platform, and they're leveraging the CMS. And this is kind of the secret sauce for marketers who want to get the most out of the CRM platform, because it gives you this growth engine where the marketer can start to take ownership of that customer experience. It's not just lip service that marketers really love using all these tools together. We actually have data that backs this. The customers who adopt these 2 hubs together, Marketing Hub and CMS Hub, rooted in that CRM platform, get the most out of the hub. They see more traffic, 80% more organic traffic. They get more form submissions. They get more contacts, 121% more contacts. It's not listed on this slide. They're also our happiest customers. People that adopt these 2 hubs together, their NPS, their Net Promoter Score for HubSpot, goes through the roof when they use these 2 tools together. And so that's reason number 1. Reason number 2 is closely tied to that. It's that you're going to be able to really personalize your content at scale. You can personalize that entire customer experience. I want to walk you through just a few different tools that really speak to that specifically. The first is smart content. Now, smart content is going to allow you to leverage all the data in the CRM to personalize that experience. I am a first-time visitor to your website. I'm going to get a specific message on that website. With smart content, as I become a customer, you can change the entire look and feel of that website, the entire experience that I receive based off of data that you have stored on me in the CRM. I'm a customer, you can deliver a different experience on the website. That's just a simple example, but you can see how you can start to change this based off of different audiences you have or personas that you have. Smart content is a really powerful tool. And a great update that we just launched to smart content is that you can now use smart content across all modules within the CMS. And this is HubSpot built modules or custom modules that your developer built for you. A really, really powerful update to the smart content tool. Another one that I want to talk through is dynamic content. Now, dynamic content, there's really two ways that you can do this within HubSpot today. The first is so a HubDB table is exactly what it sounds like. It's a data table that lives within HubSpot. And each row in that table can become a page on your website with its own SEO-friendly URL. And so a great example of this is if you go to inspire.hubspot.com, a bunch of different websites that are built on CMS Hub, maybe get some inspiration for what you want to build on your own website. But that entire website is powered by HubDB and by dynamic content. So a great example of how you can leverage dynamic content on your website. Another example is relatively shows the power of CMS Hub plus that CRM platform, and that's dynamic content through CRM objects. And so what you can do is you can start to take any object within the CRM and you can start to use that as, ways to create dynamic content so that each object on your CRM can become a page with its own SEO-friendly URL. And so let's say you run a real estate business and you want to have, each record within your CRM is a property. So you have a custom object that's different properties. Each one of those records can become a unique page within your website. So a really great way to leverage dynamic content. And of course, that's just a simple example. You can start to see how you could leverage this over time. Another one I want to mention really quickly is memberships. Memberships are how you're going to be able to create those really powerful, personalized experiences at scale. And so maybe you have, a customer portal where someone can view information on their account. They can view past interactions with your support team, or they can see, when their next bill is due. This is all possible through leveraging memberships within CMS Hub Enterprise. Cool. So that's reason number two. Reason number three is that we are a SaaS CMS. And so premium hosting is included. I think when a lot of people, they consider WordPress, they don't take into account that they have to layer on a bunch of different functionality just to get their website up and think about getting, the web application firewall or the SSL or the CDN or, all these different things that you need in order to host your website. With CMS Hub, it's all included. You don't have to worry about it. And so the speed, security, and your reliability of your website is taken care of for you. So you can focus on, what you really care about, which is creating content, creating that amazing experience for your customers. All right. Reason number four is that this is a CMS that your marketers will love. It's also one that your developers are going to love. Both of these parties are really going to enjoy leveraging CMS Hub on top of that CRM platform. The reason why marketers like the CRM platform and the CMS is because the data within that CRM platform enables them to create these incredibly personalized experiences. Developers, on the other hand, they're going to like the CRM platform because with that built-in data set that the CRM platform provides, they're going to be able to create extremely sophisticated experiences at scale. So let's walk through just a few features that kind of enable that. And the first is flexible themes. Themes in general are a great, showcase of how a developer can build something and then pass it off to the marketer to take over time. And so a theme is just a package of assets, modules, templates, style sheets, etc., that your developer packages together and gives to your marketer so they can make holistic changes to the look and feel of the website without having to tap the developer on the shoulder and say, hey, we'd like to change, the color of our header from pink to blue in this example here. So themes enable the marketer to create this holistic changes to their website, leveraging things like our drag and drop page editor. So within CMS Hub, you can move things over as you see fit. You can drag different modules onto a page without having to ask your developer, hey, can you change a CTA button for me? Can you add this to the page? The marketer has ownership and has the agency to go forward and make these changes themselves. And the final one is really for developers specifically. We know developers, they don't want to be using our own tools. They don't want to get into the design manager. They want to use the tools, technologies, and workflows that they're used to and that they run within their own day-to-day. And so with CMS Hub, they're going to be able to use their own IDE, their own local web development tooling. So maybe they're a big Microsoft Visual Studio Code user. They're going to be within HubSpot, leverage things like GitHub to control version control, and then move things to the CMS when they're ready to go. So we wanted to make sure that with CMS Hub, you're able to use your own tools and technologies, and with things like local web development, we enable that in CMS Hub. Cool. So we walked through what a CRM-powered website is. We talked through why you should care about that. Now I want to talk through a couple different ways that you can get started with CMS Hub. And I want to just start by calling out the different tiers that we have and what's available at each of those tiers. So the first one, CMS Hub Professional, kind of our flagship product. With CMS Hub Professional, you're going to be able to personalize that customer experience with some of those personalization features that I mentioned a little bit earlier on. So you're going to get smart content and reporting, dynamic content, personalization, and password protected pages too. You're also going to be able to optimize your website. So you're going to get things like custom reporting, contact attribution reporting, A/B testing, so you can start to run tests on your website to see what's performing better. And then you're going to be able to expand your content strategy with things like Home or integration with Google Search Console, the site tree that we just launched recently, so you can kind of get that holistic overview of how your website is structured and start to move things around within the structure of your website. All those features are available at Professional. We also have an enterprise product, which is going to enable you to build powerful digital experiences, leveraging things that are powered by serverless functions or memberships or adaptive testing, which will enable you to take that A/B testing functionality that I just talked about a couple seconds ago and start to test not just 1 to 2 variations of your page, but up to 5 variations of your page at a time. You're also going to be able to manage a growing team and brand. As your team grows, you're going to have more people that are contributing to your website, making edits to your website. And as a growing brand, you want to make sure that you're able to kind of manage that scaling team. So you're going to get things like content partitioning, activity logging, so you can see what change was made at what time by user, and also, SSO and user and teams permissions. You're also going to be able to extend your brand within CMS Hub Enterprise. So you're going to get additional root domains, up to 10 root domains within CMS Hub Enterprise to host content on. So you can have multiple websites within CMS Hub Enterprise. You can purchase more if you would like to for $100 extra. And then if you'd like to start to, report on all of those websites holistically and one against the other, you can do so within CMS Hub Enterprise. Now, CMS Hub Starter is new. We just launched it. It's our 3rd tier for CMS Hub, and it's available at $25 a month. So if anything that you hear about today, it sounds exciting, it sounds interesting, you want to get started and try to test the waters, CMS Hub Starter is a great option for you to start to do so. At CMS Hub Starter, we have all of our security features, all of those things that make up our premium hosting package. So you get the web application firewall, you get the global CDN, you get the standard SSL, all of that comes baked in to CMS Hub Starter. We do that so you can focus on really building out that amazing website. So all of the content editing tools, all of the developer tooling that's going to enable your developer to build a really sophisticated website, all of that comes down into CMS Hub Starter. Things like the themes and the drag and drop page editing, the blog, the ability to manage content across multiple different languages. All of that's going to be in CMS Hub Starter. I think the main value of CMS Hub Starter is that you're going to be able to start leveraging that entire platform, the entire CRM platform, in order to build a sophisticated website for your customers. So things like live chat and forms and kickback emails, things that if you're a different CMS, you'd have to layer on through things like plugins and add-ons, come native to CMS Hub Starter. So you don't have to worry about a break in the system there. It just comes natively for you. So those are the different tiers that we have for CMS Hub, but I want to walk through, 4 specific ways that you can get started on CMS Hub. The first is migrating your website. If you would like, we can, on our side at HubSpot, start to bring over your entire current website pixel for pixel onto CMS Hub so you can easily get started and start to, get off to the races leveraging this new hub for your business. You can also work with a partner. You can work with the folks at White Hat. Start to think through your content strategy. Start to think through, what would a website redesign look like? All of these things are perfect for working with a partner like White Hat to start to explore what your new website on CMS Hub could look like. Could also leverage our marketplace. And so we have our own themes and asset marketplace, which is stock full of a bunch of different themes and modules that you can use to kind of build out your own website. Maybe you use the theme as is, or maybe you purchase that theme or use a free theme on our marketplace, and then you start to, edit it and tweak it for your own personal needs with your developer. We also launched an awesome partnership with Envato, who owns ThemeForest. So if you go to a HubSpot collection on ThemeForest, I think has over 260 different themes that your business could start to leverage today in order to build out your website on CMS Hub. So leveraging the marketplace, working with a partner, migrating your website, all different options. The fourth one I want to talk to you about is building a microsite. For this one, start to think about, how does your digital experience extend beyond just the corporate website? We kind of talked about this at the beginning of the presentation, but I think a lot of people, they think about their website. We have one website, that's our digital experience, that's it. But the digital experience really extends beyond that. We have events. We're hosting an event right now. You could have a website for a specific product launch or a regional launch campaign that you're doing. You could have an educational center like we do at HubSpot with the HubSpot Academy. You could have, a tool for internal team, maybe an intranet website of some kind. Maybe you have that advocacy program that I was talking about earlier. So the website can extend far beyond just that corporate website. You could have many different websites that you use in order to manage the digital experiences. And many customers are building these experiences on top of HubSpot, leveraging this concept that we like to call microsites. And I want to walk you through just a quick example that we have. And so G2, many of you might be familiar with it. They're a software review platform. They leverage CMS Hub alongside a couple of our other hubs, and they use in order to host their Reach 2020 event. It's like their inbound, if you will. And to do that, they really leveraged the entire HubSpot platform. And so when they were evaluating different tools they knew they needed something that would allow them to personalize the experience based on attendee information. They needed to be able to host pre-recorded video content and allow visitors to the event to log into their own personal experience so that they could get this personalized experience that they wanted. They needed a way for attendees to connect with presenters and have that communication go back and forth. They needed an automatic integration with their CRM platform. And of course, at the end of the day, they needed to make sure that the event was returning ROI for them. They're able to report on the success of the event to leadership within the company. And the results that they saw were really astounding. So they hosted 57 hours of video content within CMS Hub. They had 3,000 registrants to the event, 300 of which were net new leads. And at the end of the day, when it came down to it, they were able to attribute $5 million in revenue back to this event they were hosting on CMS Hub. So really astounding results from G2, just because they started to think of their digital experience beyond that corporate website and think, how can we leverage CMS Hub for a specific microsite? And it's not just G2 that's doing this. We have a bunch of different companies that are leveraging CMS Hub to build out their microsites. Companies like Calm and ClassPass have started to use CMS Hub to explore new business ventures. And so both of them host the B2B side of their business on CMS Hub and with HubSpot. And ClassPass specifically saw an increase in 52% in their conversion rate when they started to explore this microsite with HubSpot. So really great results that they saw. And this extends far beyond that day, how you might explore different microsite opportunities, ways to expand your digital presence beyond just that corporate website, and how that might be a good opportunity for you to start to explore CMS Hub a bit further. So let's quickly recap what we went over today. First, CMS Hub is that CRM-powered website that's going to enable you to use data, leverage automation, create better content, report and optimize, and keep your messaging consistent, all in service of building out an awesome digital experience for your customers. The most successful customers that we have on CMS Hub leverage this full CRM platform on top of both CRM, marketing, and CMS. And they see really great success by doing this and leveraging this kind of growth engine that their marketers can own outright. We have a bunch of different options that you can use to get started with CMS, working with White Hat, building a microsite of your own on CMS Hub. And of course, if you're looking for a way to get started really easily, we have that brand new CMS Hub Starter product, which is available for just $25 a month. I think that's all I have. I think now we're transitioning into the Q&A portion of this. So I'm going to screen if I can.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you. Can you see the Q&A section in the general chat? Or I can tell you what they are if you can't see it.
I can. No, I can.
Oh,
I can.
good.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go off again. You can answer it.
Amazing. So we have a question here. It says, I have a Shopify e-commerce site, which includes a blog. Can CMS Hub Starter help me? And would it be easy to change? So this is a great question. So I think one of the, things that CMS Hub, we don't do natively today is we do payments. Something that we're thinking through. Shopify is obviously an awesome solution for anyone that wants to easily build out that e-commerce website. I think for people who are using Shopify, if that's working for you, awesome. We have an amazing integration with Shopify that's going to pump in all the data from Shopify, allow you to do things like abandoned cart nurturing and things like that in HubSpot. So you can leverage that Shopify site if you'd like, while also maybe hosting a different website on CMS Hub. And so maybe use the two things side by side. Maybe you integrate Stripe into CMS Hub and you start to think about how you can move your entire store into HubSpot. So a lot of different options for you. If you'd like to bring that blog over into HubSpot, you can use our blog importing tools, things like that. So you can start to easily bring over your website. There's a bunch of different options for you. So you can really start to consider how you can use CMS Hub in conjunction with Shopify, or maybe you make the switch wholesale to CMS Hub. I think it's really up to you and what works best for your business. All right, we have another question here. It says, I need a website that can handle staff login and member login. Is that possible, or would it be better to have multiple sites? And what CMS membership would I need? Great question. So during the presentation, I talked about memberships. And so memberships are going to allow you to start to build login sections of your website, leveraging the power of lists and the CRM platform to manage that login. And so you could definitely do that within CMS Hub Enterprise. CMS Hub Enterprise is kind of the tier where all that functionality with memberships comes into play. And so you could do this for your members of your company, or you could do this for your customers if they want to log into your website. So you can definitely do that within CMS Hub Enterprise, and leveraging all the different domains, you can start to build out different experiences, one for your staff, one for your customers if you'd like. Awesome. Next question, how easy is it to migrate my existing site? And can you do it with CMS Starter? So I mentioned our migration services during the presentation. We do have those migration services. However, those migration services are available at Pro Plus. So if you want to migrate your website over pixel for pixel into HubSpot, you do have to at least purchase Professional. That being said, we do have a number of different options that can help you get started. So one thing that our product team is investing is how can we, make that getting started process onto the CMS as easy as possible. And one of those things that we have is this new URL import. So if you take your URL of your current website, you plug it into HubSpot, we'll scrape the website and we'll say, hey, we found these pages with these meta descriptions and these titles. Would you like us to bring that into HubSpot? And so what we can do from that information is we can build out the structure of your website in HubSpot so that you just have to start to bring in the content itself. So that can help you get started. Instead of having to build out each and every single page manually, you can start to kind of scale that process make it easier for your team to build out content within HubSpot. And we're exploring how we can make that process even more robust, even easier for people at the starter level. So more to come on that. But right now, if you want to migrate your website over or re-platform, leveraging our own re-platforming and migration services, that is available at the professional tier. All right. If we already have developers, is there anything special they would need to do in order to create a template for a CMS Hub website? It's a great question. If you have a developer, I welcome you to go to developers.hubspot.com, and there you're going to see all the developer documentation that we have for the CMS, including a great getting started guide that's going to walk them through kind of how CMS Hub is built, what the foundation is, what the basics of development on CMS Hub are. It's also going to get them included in things like our dev Slack community and various resources that they have. That's the one thing that I would stress if you have a developer is get them to go to developers.hubspot.com, get them into the Get Started guide, get them into the developer Slack community, and they should be off to the races developing on HubSpot in no time. All right, is CMS Starter a good choice if SEO is important? Great question. Here at HubSpot, we build all of our CMS Hub tiers with SEO in mind. And so a couple different things there. One, we have the SEO tools within the content editor itself. So as you're building out net new content for your website, you can click over to that Optimize tab within the content editor, and you're going to get a bunch of recommendations on how you can start to optimize the content on that specific page in order to make sure that it performs best within search. So we have that. If you'd like to upgrade to CMS Hub Professional, home or our content strategy tools, you can start to scale that across your entire website, not just the other thing I'll mention is that a big factor in SEO is the foundation on which you're building on top of. So if you're leveraging the CMS Hub boilerplate, that comes with a Google Lighthouse score of 99, I believe. And so it's really high Lighthouse score. So the foundation that you're building on top of is really great. It has those best practices for SEO kind of baked into the product. And so if SEO is your top concern, I think CMS Hub Starter is a great option for you to explore. All right. And then I see that Tamara's posted. Tamara, is this a question for me or?
Sorry, it was a question. It was in a general chat from somebody, and so I've moved it over. So it was from Future Care. There we go.
So we've been invited to MS Startup and have some 200K Azure credits. How does HubSpot compare with Microsoft? I'm assuming MS means Microsoft tools around CRM and 360 Internet Profile Proactivity. I think that's something where you'd have to really, compare Microsoft's tools versus HubSpot's tools, what works best for your business, and what's going to help you best achieve your goals. I will admit my knowledge of the Microsoft tool stack isn't as great as it probably should be. But I think I would compare, what do you get within 360 within Microsoft's tools, and what's that connection between their CRM and their CMS look like? I think one of the great things about HubSpot is that we have that native code base where we've made sure that all the tools, the data, the reporting, the messaging, content, and automation that powers the CRM is the same foundation that powers our CMS. And so the ability to use those tools interchangeably is really easy, really intuitive, and it's going to allow you to scale with HubSpot over time. With Microsoft, I'm not exactly sure what that connection between their CRM and their CMS looks like. And so it's something that you want to explore of how powerful is that connection? What's it going to enable your team to do? I think those are some of the considerations that I would keep front of mind when you're making that decision between HubSpot and Microsoft. All right. I think that's the end of it. The ones that are in the Q&A pane itself. Is there anything else in the general chat?
Let me just have a quick look. I don't think there is. Make sure I haven't missed anything. Sometimes it goes so much. No, I haven't missed. No, that is all we have. Cool. Well, thank you so much. It's been amazing. As I said, and there's so much that we can do with the CMS Hub Starter. And even if you are already, oh, hold on. Do we have another question? I see something pop up. How to defend the CMS Hub to management? Because even if as a marketer, Okay, I can let you answer that.
So I think it depends on what their pushbacks are for CMS. If their pushbacks are that, we leverage WordPress and we like WordPress, we're already on WordPress, I would ask them, okay, well, how much time do you spend managing that WordPress instance? And, would you prefer to spend, time creating content? I think it really depends on what those pushbacks are. If you're looking for that all-on-one solution where you can start to leverage the CRM platform in conjunction with your marketing automation platform and the CMS, I think it's a really great option to start to consolidate and see the benefits of that all-on-one platform. But it really depends on the pushbacks that you're receiving and how the CMS can start to, I guess, ease things on your business.
Definitely, obviously we use CMS Hub, and it is very useful to be able to draw all that information together for different sections of the company. It's not just for like the content, like obviously I do content creation, but as you said, with marketing, with sales, and even just general operations, you can just tap into it, see what's happening, and it all lines up. And it also can give you an indication of what you might want to be putting on your site as well,
Totally. I think that's a really great point too. Like as a marketer, we want to make sure that what we're doing is driving business results and driving impact for the business. And if you're leveraging a CMS that isn't connected to all your other tools, you're going to have this incomplete reporting structure, this inability to fully see the impact of your content on that customer journey. And by leveraging CMS Hub, you're going to be able to see granularly, how is my content impacting that customer experience? How are we, using our website to meet business goals? And so I think if I was trying to convince as a marketer, I would want to lean into that reporting functionality, that ability to see exactly how my efforts as a marketer are impacting the bottom line of the business.
Definitely. It's like there's no gray area. You have measurements that you can go from, and what management doesn't want results and some figures to say, okay, yeah, it's working, or it's whatever. So yeah, I do agree. But as I said, thank you so much. It has been amazing. That we've been pushing it because we use it, and even where the CMS Hub Starter is new, there's things that even within the CMS Hub on the level that we use, we haven't explored before. So it's kind of opened our eyes as well. It's all good to keep learning and learning new things and exploring. So it's been amazing. So thank you so much. And I know you've had such a busy time because it was the launch and you granted us to come and speak. So that was really, really grand. Thank you.
Happy to be here. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. And if anyone has any questions after this, feel free to connect with me and ask. Happy to help in any way that I can.
Thank you. And we will definitely be getting a recording out. Obviously, I know some people couldn't make it. And for those that are left on and will see the recording, we also have 2 hugs in September. So we're going to be crazy as well. And we're welcoming our new global SEO hug. So that is amazing for us, really. So yeah. So as I said, thank you to everybody, and the recording will come out soon. And if you have any questions, as I said, Alex said he will be more than happy to answer them, because don't ask me, I'm not the expert. So thank you. You take care.
Awesome. Cheers, team.
And everybody, thank you.